Diego, how you going? Welcome to the show.
I'm very well, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're down from Queensland today and have a bit of time to chat with us about something very important. So what are you here to talk about?
I'm here to talk about company culture. I think I use the analogy, there's a few of them going around, but it's about the old football analogy, having the right mindset, having the positive mindset produces a good result. So company culture today is important. I think we get it from the top down. So Tim Jackson provides that culture, and that kind of goes through to the rest of the team, and especially in sales, I think it's important to know that your team's firing, you're giving them the right tools and the right enthusiasm, I guess,
Yep.
to get those results. So I'm all for it. I do a bit of banter around the office, and I do it with my fellow partners as well. But yeah, positive mindset's very important, I think, for me.
Yep. And it's just about high performance, right? I think high performing businesses are the ones that have the best culture, and it creates the best connections
Yeah.
between staffs and colleagues, and they can go out there and smash it.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I use the football analogy. I know it's close to your heart. Um, I look at a team like Manchester City at the moment.
Don't like
You've been
Manchester City as an Arsenal
being an
supporter
Arsenal
right now.
supporter, but the team at the moment is you look at the team and they gel well. They just seem happy. They're producing the results. Everyone's hugging each other, and they're getting the job done. And that is kind of moves on to the sales piece. And I know it's football, sports is different, but at the end of the day, it's a job.
Yes.
And I think in sales and in an organization, it's important to have that camaraderie. And at the end of the day, that, like I said before, the results do come through.
For sure. And I think something you see a lot as well is healthy conflict,
Yep.
especially using that football analogy, right? You always see people butting heads because they're so focused, they're so dedicated to win. And I
Yep.
think that's a similar sort of culture that you see in high performing businesses. And I know I've seen it here at Access4. People are willing to have those genuine conversations. It might seem like conflict, but a few minutes later they're back to the banter, back to having
Yeah.
jokes, because you need to get the right outcomes and
Yep.
you need to make the right decisions. And with the right culture, you have the platform to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And I'll make an example. I had a sales training session with a partner this week here in Melbourne. And I hadn't seen them as a group together. So we're in the boardroom, and I could just feel they had their own little banter going. We got back to, we were going off track a few times, but we're coming back to the main presentation. But I was getting good questions. So they were asking the right questions, having the banter in between, and they are a successful partner. So they go out there in their field. They're doing voice now. So that's the kind of thing that I see out there today.
Yep.
That produces a good result. So that's what we need more of.
And I mean, what does it mean when you don't have a good company culture? I know some people just want to come to work, get their job done, stay in their lane and everything, and that might be successful for some businesses. But is that something that you see out there with MSPs?
Yeah, 100%. And I hear it every day. So the main thing I get from partners today, especially post COVID, is around finding the right people, finding good people. So it's and I think it happens in every industry, just not in the MSP world. We get a lot of people saying, yep, I can't find staff. Hospitality is a big one.
Yep.
But our partners are facing that challenge today. So can't find good people. And it could be because maybe you don't have the right culture. And then you start seeing your staff moving. You see that high attrition rate. I've always said it in my working career, there's 3 parts to a day.
Yep.
So it's split up in 3, 8 hours you're sleeping, 8 hours you're at home, and 8 hours at work. So if you're having 2/3 of them are pretty bad, you're having a bad sleep or bad home environment, you don't want your work environment to be either, because that kind of,
for sure.
productivity and efficiency drops. So you just got to make sure you keep the mood up and get the staff at 100%.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for having a chat about this very important issue. We'll catch you later on.
Thanks for having me, Nick.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Bye.